So with the France game either being done or close to done by the time this video comes out, it is finally time to decide who will be in the starting lineup. So in this video we will be running with 3 lineups, the first one being my dream lineup, the second one being Jinpachi Eagles lineup using his reasoning, and last is the sub lineup where I basically just switch out some players depending on the 50-50 basis I had with the first lineup. And if I can get one of these lineups right. Now, before we begin, make sure to subscribe, hype, share comments to support the channel, and join the YouTube membership for more Bluelock content, as well as join this Discord server, as you will be able to keep up to date with some sneak peeks for videos and just chat with other Bluelock fans, including myself. Now let's get into my dream lineup. This will be a 3-4-2-1 for real soccer fans. This will seem similar as it's the same lineup Japan used to beat England in an international friendly for the first time in their history. One last thing is I will only bring up prior arc feats if it is absolutely necessary, because each arc the Bluelockers and their opponents have power creep, so old arc feats wouldn't be as relevant as you wouldn't think they would be for that character. Now let's get into the players in this lineup. First is Gin Gagamao. He is our best goalkeeper, and while he is currently having a stinker against France, I have high hopes he can get a few saves against England to redeem himself. We need him to do more super keeper stuff, like how he did a header in the exhibition match to stop Shido from scoring, and while Shido did score, it was a very smart play from Gagamao nonetheless. We are going to need his reactive synapses to be on flow state because England's real life team is full of rocket shooters. Even their defenders could shoot rockets. And just like Arsenal, England loved scoring off of set pieces too. They had a stinker in the Euro 2024, but because of those set pieces, they were able to survive. So Gagamao needs to be careful because the person he least expects could be the one ending up delivering the final dagger with a goal. If he isn't careful in this game, he could get subbed off for Fukaku, but for now we need our best goalkeeper to stop the monstrosity of an offense England has. If the other players are as offensively dangerous as the pathologist Dr. Agi, it will be a long day for Gagamao. Now let's get into the wingbacks. Right wingback, Sugiri Zantetsu. Zantetsu is a pressure beast on defense, and he was always on Nessa's case in the last match you saw him, which was BM vs PXG, even getting a successful tackle on him. While he didn't get any steals, most times his pressure made his opponents have to watch their attack methods. Zantetsu's bullet speed acceleration is going to be very useful against this England team with his new track training, helping his acceleration and hopefully his endurance as well, as the training could have helped from 100 meters to 800 meters. Ego is just enhancing on what Loki told Zantetsu to do, but to the extreme. Since England loves to move their fullbacks for full rushing attacks, especially key examples Trent, Trippier and Kyle Walker, Zantetsu's acceleration counter could be a nightmare for England. He also has a shooting formula which could get him a goal, but considering this is a side character, you know Kanashiro won't give him a goal. Now realistically, he could use his jet counter to give him a clinical pass to a striker or a playmaker who will get the assist thanks to Zantetsu's hard work, like how he did in PXG with Charles and Cheeto. I chose him over Otoya and Corona because Otoya has like no defensive one-on-one feats, especially against really fast players like Zantetsu, who was giving him belt in the second selection, let alone now. And for Corona, it's mainly due to the fact that this game needs more fast direct counter plays than that short passing direct stuff Corona be doing with Isagi. Unless you're Spain, you're not beating England in that category of short passes because England thrives off of defending those. Lastly, Zantetsu's physical prowess is just better than Corona's. Left wing back, Hyoma Chigiri. Chigiri getting put on the right wing back position twice is absolutely criminal, but I understand why Ego did it, as it wasn't any secret to benefit Chigiri because it clearly did not. So what Ego did was to use Chigiri as a cross merchant because it was an Isagi centric system, which meant if Chigiri was on the left, Isagi wouldn't get any passes to score from him. And while he could have gotten passes from Hiyori, Kanashiro can't have Chigiri scoring in every single game, so he had to swap it up. We also have Ego's fetish for having right wingers and right wing backs be the speedy types and the left side to be the dribblers. However, this is my dream lineup and we'll get to Ego's later. We all know Chigiri can pull off the golden formula goal on the left side, and with Zantetsu on the right side, they can use their full power speed dual attack to move down the midfield faster so Chigiri can get in his position as fast as possible to score those goals. And having him as a wingback means he will have to do a whole lot more running to get to the golden goal, so Zantetsu will be very useful. And this is why I'm also having him resort to having to use counter attacks to get in that position faster. because fullbacks like to move up in England. So yeah, I think Chigri's speed will be very efficient, especially on a defensive end, as bro was holding off low-key for a good amount of time. Yeah, Chigri is going to be a beast for us. I feel it. Especially with his training to be swimming, which it means if you can swim fast in water, you can definitely run faster, because it's harder to swim fast than to run fast. So it means Chigri is going to be using them legs to be a beast finally. And this is his stratum game, so he definitely has to go off. Right center back, Iki Nico. Little Nico has been cooking in this arc with his training basically to be hitting the gym, and it's working out for him. And it seems that his meta vision is more broader and efficient than in the NEL, which made him stop some dangerous attacks in the Nigeria and France games. He put in more work in 45 minutes than IQ did in 90 minutes. He deserves to stay on the starting lineup, and I can see him stopping shots that can get through IQ and RU being that missing piece, and also moving up the pitch to stop dangerous passes to strikers, and even getting surprise tackles to stop the danger. Lastly, I need him to show how much his muscles can take when defending these English attackers. Left center back, Jube Aryo. Offensively, he could score some headers from set pieces. He was in the position to do that against France, but they went with a short corner instead. Defensively, we haven't really seen him stop aerial attacks, but use his height to stop Layden from getting the ball. But considering that Aggie's on that team, he will have to lock in this time. England is a team that thrives on the ground and in the air, and I hate playing Arsenal and FC26 because of that. I think because of Ryu's height advantage, it will give Japan an advantage for some of the game, but if he isn't careful and Aggie just starts to demolish him, we may have him getting subbed off. You never know. But Ryu's training did work against Onazi. It could work against the Brutes, but honestly, the way those Brutes' physicality can wear through him, Ryu's ground defense isn't going to be working this time. And our main center back is the captain, Olivier IQ. Just like how IQ had to take out Onazi in the Nigeria game, he needs to lock in. He is having an absolute stinker against Loki, and even Charles caught him lacking. We got like 5 Metavision users and Charles still pulled his shenanigans on us. What a legend. IQ is physically the strongest in the backline, so he needs to really step up in handling the brutes England has to offer. IQ's training was on sports administration and Kingscraft. In terms of Kingscraft, when I look back at it, it's actually a fast-paced 7-on-7 league, kind of Sunday league style. And if you're from the UK, you know it gives you like no time to be slow or thinking. So I know this is to prepare IQ for England, that is the country that is used to it. And originally I thought this was his training just to understand the sport better. So with him studying this, it forces IQ to be faster and more direct with his actions for himself and teammates. His training is to be a faster and direct captain pretty much that can lead his team to victory. So to understand the game in a coach's perspective, which is part of what the sports administration is doing, he can look at the game in another viewpoint. And we have seen him back up his boys in the Iron Wall Quartet, something we haven't seen him do here. And we haven't seen him duke it out with strikers 1v1 like how he was doing in the exhibition game and with Kaiser and Isaki in the NEL. I bring up these prior feats is because we have seen this stuff from IQ, but we haven't even seen him try to attempt these things against France or Nigeria. Also, I can see him after Bluelock still being involved with soccer when he retires, when he's either a coach or a member of the JFU union, trying to grow Japanese soccer and help it bloom just a little more. As we got Kuro from Haikyuu doing that, it would be cool to see IQ be that guy for Bluelock doing that to help Japanese soccer thrive even more. And also, one thing he did in that game was command Fukaku. I would love to see IQ commanding Gagamawa and giving him more advice as the captain. Stuff like that just helps his character, you know. Right central defensive midfielder, Rensuke Kunigami. Against a team full of brutes, he needs to lock in and break their midfield progression, stop their aerial attacks, man marking their strongest midfielder in this game. If he retains the ball after getting it, he can build up the attack since he is ambidextrous, so he can fake passes or shots with either foots to get himself an assist or a goal. In corner situations, he can even steal himself a hyena goal with those insane reflexes. Even when his main opponent doesn't have the ball, he needs to be locked in like he was against Cheeto. I know Kunigami is going to thrive well in this game. Left central defensive midfielder. With a genius CDM on the right, we need a talented learner CDM, and our best one to be on the left, being Tabito Karasu. If Kunigami messes up, he needs to be the man to back him up. He also has Chigiri on his left, so he can even help assist Chigiri's golden goal. Kunigami could be his zonal shield that helps him move up the field to have more options. While I took away his best buddy, I still see him thriving with Chigiri and Zantetsu, people who he has teamed up with in the past with his wingbacks, and a beast of a shield in Kunigami. Everything he has been doing in this France game, manipulating the game events to his best, I need that same energy here. However, if he isn't careful and he can't handle the fast-paced brutality of this game, he may be the one getting swept off for Raichi. Right attacking midfielder, Reo Mikage. Reo has only shown like 3 out of the 22 players he was supposed to copy, so we need Reo to go mental. Even with him being a talented learner, he could be that wild card beast against England. Considering that England was his stratum he went to, he needs to be the one who gets a lot of focus. And I expect him to score a goal and maybe 2 assists. He can do link-up plays with just about anyone, especially his dumb friend Santetsu. Any tactical gap or slip-up Bluelock has, I need him on it pronto. He is one of Bluelock's best attackers as well as defenders. We need him going all out in both areas, but not all the time. I don't need him tired really fast. Left attacking midfielder, Yoichi Isagi, the Ramtador of this team, has a lot to do against England, exploiting those empty gaps that are going to leave a lot of the game. He can link up with players like Chigiri, Karasu, Kunigami, and Reo pretty well. Being an attacking midfielder will allow him to track it back to also stop some shots, like how he helped IQ take down Nigeria. I expect him to score a goal in this game. I don't expect Isagi to score against Brazil unless it's off of size assist. Lastly, with Isagi understanding his true ego not to be number 1 or 2 but to devour the number 1, I have the best person suited for the job, striker Shohei Barrow. By chapter 345, it seems that Rin is going to be ineffective even in his destroyer state. He is going to be devoured, and with the poor game he had with only one elite striker to score, but being Barrow, it would give him the absolute claim rights to be that main striker against England, to return to his throne, which was on the letter by training with those English brutal footballers. I feel like his training is really going to pay off against this game, where he has to use his charging power and dribbling skills to charge through England's defense to score himself a magnificent goal. We need a more physical, animalistic game from Barrow. That's the way we're going to survive. So to recap my first lineup for today, it's a 3-4-2-1 with goalkeeper Gengagamal, left center back Jiube Aryu, right center back Iki Niko, main center back Olivier IQ, left wing back Hyoma Chigiri, right wing back Sugiri Zantetsu, left central defensive midfielder Tabito Karasu, right central defensive midfielder Rensuke Kunigami, left attacking midfielder Yoichi Isagi, right attacking midfielder Reo Mikage, and central striker Shohei Barrow. My 5 subs would be Gen Fukaku, Jingo Raichi, Ransei Corona, Rin Itoshi, and Jin Kiora, but if side B ends early, I could see Nagi being a sub instead of Kiora. Now for Ego, I expect him to go with a 4-2-1-3 lineup, which is pretty much the same he's been using in this second half against France. We will have Gagamao still as a goalkeeper. Now for the 2 defenders, it would still be Aryu and IQ as well, as Ego views them to be Bluelock's strongest defenders, and with IQ having to show off his new training against England and Aryu having to deal with the threat of Agi, it leaves no room for Nico and Ego's defensive lineup. For his wingbacks, he will always like to have his left sides be the dribbling ones like Hiyori and Bachira being used there, and on the right side he likes to use his speedy types like Chigiri and Otoya being used there. But considering that he has used Hiyori on the right and even Reo, I think Ego will switch it up. Considering he wants to strengthen Karasu's all-out attack right now, he will put one of Karasu's boys, Chigiri, on the left to get Karasu some assists, and he will have Hiyori play on the right, so both wingbacks will be on Karasu's side. I'll also have him playing right central defensive midfielder so he can actually link up with Hiyori more. Considering the person Chigiri likes to work with the best is Kunigami, I could see Chigiri and Kunigami working on the left side while Karasu and Hiyori works on the right side. We also have to deal with the fact that Reo and Isagi will be the attacking midfielders again, and Bao this time will be a shadow striker to Rin Itoshi. I think Bao being a main striker works and will work in this game, but he has been countlessly efficient as the shadow striker chasing after someone's shadow, and even in this game he scored because of Shido's presence. He always lurks around and always becomes a shadow striker king to score goals and devour the number 1 striker. Him and Isagi kind of have that thing in common, you know. And Rin Itoshi could be that guy, especially if he is beast mode or really awakens in the England game. Bao will devour Rin. That would be a cool sight to see. But honestly, anything could happen. So yeah, to recap for Eagles lineup, I have goalkeeper Gengagamal, left center back Jubei Ayu, right center back Olivier IQ, left wing back Hyo Machigri, right wing back Yo Hiyori, left central defensive midfielder being Rensuke Kunigami, right central defensive midfielder being Tabito Karasu, left attacking midfielder Yoichi Isagi, right attacking midfielder Reo Mikage for the same reasons, shadow striker Shorei Bao, and main striker Runitoshi. Now, for the final lineup where I basically have my 4 backup subs instead, being goalkeeper Gen Fukaku, left center back Jubei Ayu, right center back Iki Niko, main center back Olivier IQ, left wing back Hyoma Chigri, right wing back Ranze Corona, right central defensive midfielder Jingo Raichi, left central defensive midfielder Rensuke Kunigami, left attacking midfielder Yoichi Isagi, right attacking midfielder Reo Mikage, and striker Runitoshi. The reason I have Gen Fukaku is because he's been built up in this game to be like the most patient guy. Like his training was to basically do like be patient, be calm, have a calm mindset under the waterfall, because he was very indecisive in that exhibition game, and it shows that he is a timid and shy character who is indecisive, so that training was perfect for him. For Ranze Corona, this game will show off his endurance that was in the training panel, where Corona has to finally last a 90-minute game because he kept on getting subbed out, and against England he barely just kept up with Isagi. Bro started having cramps in the Ubers game, and bro was gassed against PXG. For Jingo Raichi, it's just because his training was like sumo wrestling, so to handle the brutes of England makes sense for him to like lock in and defend these guys. His role in the starting lineup is the least likeliest, but it could still happen, especially with the fact that Tabito Karasu is the one dominating. This is the hardest person to swap in this video. And lastly, Runitoshi instead of Bao. Bao and Shido are like Ego's Joker fetishes, so he may just bench Bao and may have him score a super sub goal against England. You never know. This was a fun video to make. Hopefully one of these lineups actually end up happening. Let me know your lineups for this game in the comment section, and on to the next video. Stay blessed. Suki out.